Hello and welcome back to the Rainbow Room International podcast channel. My name's Ricardo Corvey and you're joining us with the second part of our co-director at Uddingston, Suzie McGill, and she is also our international artistic director for the entire brand. I hope you have watched part one and you've heard her journey from, leaving Scotland, becoming a hairdresser, coming back up, and she's just about to open up the Uddingston salon with her sister. So again, as usual, drive safe if you're listening in the car. If you're working out in the gym, hope you've got a good sweat on, and this is just going to help motivate you the whole way through. And if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you look all right. Thanks. Today's podcast has been sponsored by Mataki Scissors, and I'm an ambassador for the brand, and I've been using them now for about 7 months, and they have been amazing. The fact that they're a British-based company, the fact that we can pick up the phone and work with them and we can get everything sharpened with them has been absolutely unique. So today's podcast is brought to you with the help of Mataki Scissors. Okay, so we've all been at that moment the night before and you're about to open the salon. Where's your head at?
It's all over the place, obviously, but what we decided to do, I'll never know why we decided to do this, right? But this was our decision. Yeah. So, maybe 2 nights before, it was just, full pelt. Doogie was in building the chairs. Gus was building the chairs with him. It was just chaos, and but we managed to get it all together because the big plan of action was we were going to open on the Monday, but on the Sunday we wanted to have a reception for our families. Brilliant. So it was like our mum and dad, my parents-in-law, her parents-in-law, some of mum and dad's friends that had been really close family friends, and our friends, and all our sisters and family, and people that we just wanted to have around us to show, because we were so proud. We just couldn't actually believe that this was happening. So, and we'd a lovely wee champagne afternoon and cleaned the salon up, and the next day we opened up for business.
I think as well, you talk about talking part one about doing that full journey of being from there, doing the full 360 and then open there. So what a beautiful way to start the business by having all of the people that would have been characters in that timeline of you growing up being there to share that experience with you. And
it was a really our first client. I'll never forget this. When we opened the door, this client came in and she was determined she was going to be the first client in the Rainbow Room, right?
I love that.
And she came in with a huge cake. She'd had a cake made for us.
Wow.
I know, big congratulations cake. We were all like, wow. And she's been a client ever since, so...
Our first client, we laughed, Guido and I laughed, because we were worried it was going to set a precedent, because we thought, well, we need to get a photograph with the first client, and we presented that client with a bottle of champagne, going, you're the first of... I don't want my photograph taken. So we've no recollection of it whatsoever. For God's sake, right, okay. And the weird thing for us was that we'd finished tidying the salon up on the Tuesday morning, and in the afternoon everybody had either brought a friend or a pal or a relative in to just, and we all did hair that afternoon, self-promotions and all that, just to bump into each other. And I mean, I'd never worked on a line before, Buchanan Street section. I'd never worked in any of those shapes. And obviously, I'd only ever worked in one salon ultimately. So even that, so we were just trying to get our body mechanics right and all that, and that was fine. And then we opened up on the Wednesday. And for the first month, I couldn't get my reports to come out the computer because I kept on putting the Tuesday date in. But because we hadn't turned over any money on the Tuesday, the computer didn't think the salon had opened that Tuesday. And it didn't register till the Wednesday. And the Wednesday was my dad's birthday.
Oh.
And the salon had been delayed and it was meant to open at this point and that point and everything. And after that, with the start with the client going, don't have my picture taken, to then going, it's my dad's birthday.
This is the right day.
It'll be all right. It'll be fine. So that's amazing. So... Well, what a story of success if your first client's bringing in cakes.
No, it's so funny, isn't it? And then we just got down to business. I think both Sam and I were actually taken away by how quickly it took off.
Yeah.
We were not expecting that.
Yeah.
And, you know, my sister, if you've watched the podcast with my sister Sam, she is the brains of the salon. She is so good with figures and at educating the team how to look after their columns and stuff. And very quickly we just started growing. And it, you know, I'm not surprised that we made a success of it, but just that first initial period, it's very nerve-wracking.
No, and that would be the normal way to be. You would be wrong if you think, I'm just going to open this up and it's going to be fine. You know, that way, you know, but how much of your own clientele from, because again, it's a bit of a chunk of space, and West Enders are West Enders. They're not crossing the river for any reason, and they're certainly not coming out of the city centre radius. So, but did you get a decent amount of clients coming over?
Not really, no. I mean, I took like a handful of clients wanted to know where I was and came, but like you say, West Enders are West Enders. So I've still got a few.
Yeah.
And they would have been the ones that came initially.
Got you.
And that would be it. You know, it's not far. You know, I mean, Uddingston's only like 10 miles outside the city centre. But it could be the Moon. But the West End's the West End.
Could be the Moon. So. But even Sam, how did she get on the clients transfer?
She had more clients that came with her. And obviously she'd been with the company
longer,
a really long time by then, so she'd a totally firm clientele.
And almost being city centre based, it's actually transient clients coming into town in the first place, because that was the big shocker to me when I opened, where I'm going, wow, we've actually got a pre-built client base that are just like, you know what, I can't be bothered going back into town anymore, but I want the brand, so that worked out for us.
I mean, now we've got loads of clients that do that, especially after COVID and stuff. And they don't make it easy with the parking and stuff in the city centre. So, but and it just built from strength to strength, and we just had a great team. We had a huge team. Within a couple of years, huge team. In fact, probably too big. You know, we don't have that. We've kind of brought that back down again, because I think sometimes, you know, we were losing the space for the clients and the luxury for the clients, you know, because they are, all of our franchise salons are 12-seater salons. So when you've got 10 stylists in there, there's not really a lot of space for manoeuvre, you know.
No. Do you think as well part of the success, because it's a beautiful shop front, you know, it's the main road right through up to Bodwell and through to Hamilton and everything, so there is good traffic, so it is very visual as well, and you can see right in. It's not like you're kind of going, I wonder what it's like in there, you know. If you're outside, you know. Do you think that helped as well?
Yes, I do, definitely. I mean, the salon is beautiful, and the shop front's great as well. And we're right next to this train station and across from Angels Hotel, so we do have quite a big footfall of people in the traffic and stuff as well. But I also think as well with the rainbow rooms, like, it's the warmth of the visit, because our front of houses are... So it probably did look intimidating for people in Uddingston when it first opened. Like, local people, would they come in, would they not come in? But as soon as they come in the front door, when they get the welcome, and the team are just... You know,
is that not
normal
one of the
people dressed a bit weird?
Is that not one of the best sort of preconceived notion busters that we do? That the amount of clients, you know, from 2 years old to 95, that think this isn't the place for me. And then the second that their wee bums in that seat, they know it's the place for them for that exact reason. I love that to this day.
So do I. And also as well, because, you know, hairdressers are, you know, all in black, looking fabulous, great hair, that sort of thing. It always looks like a lot of people, you know. So yeah, and I get that.
Yeah.
I get that, you know, but I mean, I think things have changed a lot over the years with service, but 20 years ago, that was still a thing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it would have been. And I think as well that, you know, touching on that journey with the team members is that the clients get involved in that as well, from assistant to young stylists and to find out they're winning stuff or joining the art team and all that. They get so involved in that, and that's heartwarming.
And they
well.
want to be part of the journey.
Yeah.
Clients really, and I love our clients to come along as part of our journey. You know, that's where your socials are so important.
Yeah.
Because they get to see you in a different light. They get to see their stylist doing things that are amazing that they've never experienced before. So that's
and it's
very
really important
cool.
to show it, isn't it? To see that you're at that, you know, either the forefront or you're relearning or you're being creative or you're just having fun.
Or your stylist has had a promotion.
It's,
You know, for our solid stylists that are working in the salon that aren't involved in all the creative work that we do, you know, or they're, you know, the front of house has had a promotion or won an award.
Won an award at Congress, all these things, no, definitely. So yeah, you're about to, you know, you've got the two clear paths, you know, you've got Sam's kind of looking after the sort of, in inverted commas, business side of the salon and all that kind of stuff, but clearly you've got your training with Rainbow Room and you're heading up and looking after the kind of artistic journey and outlook for the brand, but also you're now heavily involved with Schwarzkopf as well, you know. So how did that, did you take a break from that at the start for the salon, or were you just still as knee-deep?
I never. So, I mean, so my journey with Schwarzkopf started before I had the salon.
Yeah.
So obviously with doing like the international shows and the European stuff, then that was all Schwarzkopf led.
Of course, yeah.
So, excuse me. When I got back into this, when we opened the salon and I was doing that, then I was doing a lot of work with Schwarzkopf, but definitely not as much as I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, because now that it's just like two jobs, isn't it? And so it was probably more sort of show work that I was doing before and not maybe so heavy education led. And because I really wanted to educate my team as well.
Of course. Yeah,
you know, so we would just spend endless nights in there and I would just show them everything. Everything and anything they wanted.
Yeah.
And then still doing a bit of training at the academy, and it was just busy, Ricardo.
Yeah.
But that is what I love. I thrive on that.
Yeah.
You know, so...
well, I've never known you not doing anything, regardless of whether you're get broken limbs or not get broken limbs, or where, you know, and it's like ships in the night from one thing to the next thing, and it is, you know, again from the outside looking in, Jackie always laughs, like she's just always like, I have no idea how she does that, and then, you know, you get to the end of month fingers and, you know, you're still at the top of your director level and you're still doing that amount of clients and you're going, right, is there sleeping involved? You know, like how you travelling like rent-a-goes, you do boink and that, you know, it is. You know, it is amazing, but obviously you must thrive on it because you wouldn't be able to do it to that level.
I feel so fortunate to have been in hairdressing for 41 years and I still get incredible opportunities. You know, and a lot of the opportunities did come, you know, it's all thanks to Rainbow Room, you know, I have to say, because they put so much trust, all of you guys, in me, to create the look.
Yeah.
The different looks that have gone on in the salon. I've not done it all on my own, but I have headed up the team.
Of course.
And also for all my nominations in the British Hairdressing Awards, whether it be for Scottish, Art Team or Colour. Yeah. And getting into the Hall of Fame and, you know, winning Colourist of the British Colour Technician. these things, would never have been possible without the rainbow room backing me up the whole way. So hats off to Alan and Linda and you guys for putting your trust in me.
You kidding?
Because sometimes I'm like, are they mad?
That's a no-brainer. So, well, at what point were you kind of comfy knowing that the salon was turning over at a level and at a standard that let you feel comfortable and have the brain space to go away and do the artistic stuff as well?
So, no. No, and I still done 5 days a week. And in the very beginning, I wasn't doing, a crazy amount of that stuff. I would allocate time for that because it would be 6 days a week at that time, and then just as time has gone on, I've just learned how to manage things. So, back then it would be 5 days travelling a Sunday, working a Monday, back into the salon. Whereas I'm slightly kinder to myself now, and it'll be travel Sunday, seminar Monday, travel on a Monday, maybe have a bit of a Tuesday off, and then back into the salon. But that's my life, and that's how I like it.
And do you think that kind of moving forward, that obviously Schwarzkopf is a brand and their training is way more organised now than I ever even remember it, and how far ahead that we get, the dates and the plans and all that kind of stuff, and whether it's London, Manchester or Glasgow. Because obviously back in the day they had the studio in London, and things would maybe be on, and then sometimes they wouldn't be on, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas it comes even as a pressive body of work to think, I can put somebody on that as well. So does that make it easier for you to then plan your year around that as well?
I mean, I've got my dates to November. And it's going to be 1 year. I can tell you that much. So I mean, the SKP team are unbelievably organised. They're amazing, all headed up by Kay and Catherine. And the Ask Academy, they have to have their dates in there now, so as candidates can book on it. So it is super organised, and I think that's the thing that I've learned, and I've especially learned this off my sister. Because she's tried to drill it into me.
She's good with a list.
She's so good.
Good with a list. You can't tell she worked for Linda, can you, by any chance?
Oh my goodness. And she's taught me to be more organised, and I mean, it's an all credit to my sister as well, because I would never have been able to do this with a salon. With a family, and all the rest of it.
Not for the timeline, for sure. You might have, it's one of the things that I think Rainbow Room as a brand maybe doesn't pat itself in the back enough, in that a lot of people can be really great for 5 years, and they can have this amazing intense energy for 5 years, whether you're a stylist on the floor, whether you're a salon owner, whether you're an art team or a creative within a brand. You can have this, it's the same again as musicians or whatever. You can have this 5 years and then it kind of disappears, whereas
still waiting in the
that way it's another 5 years and another 5 years and another 5. But to be as current as we are today, sitting with right up to the present day nominations for industry standard awards, as we would have been back when Alan and Linda were starting, I think that's one of our best achievements, is we've never rested on either previous work or past successes. We're trying to go that way. All what's going to be the next great haircut, what's going to be the next inspirational colour, what's going to be the next great training seminar we can do, what other award we can do. And the awards are for the recognition and the pat in the back. They're not... Yes, that's nice.
And also I think it's important that you have a voice in the industry as well, because we are in a really changing world, and I do, I don't like when people say, it's a young person's game, because it's not.
No.
Hairdressing and the world around hairdressing, you learn to know it more with more experience, and the experience and your journey is what crafts the thing at the top, you know. So having that experience to be able to set your knowledge down to younger hairdressers, and I'm not talking like training hairdressers, I'm talking about hairdressers that want to be on a different type of platform, then always asking somebody who has that experience is the learning way.
Of course.
You know, that's how we learned off Alan and Linda.
Totally.
Because how would we have known what footsteps to take? Or so asking advice from people that genuinely have that knowledge.
No, it's the whole standing on the shoulders of giants, isn't it? And that's
So
and
it's so
again,
important.
you know, and that's casting your web again from a Rainbow Room perspective. It isn't just us.
No.
It's all of our peers. It's all the great hairdressers that have went before us and different brands. The people cutting out and putting out the most cutting edge stuff just now. It's, you know, look that way, don't look that way, and that's something that I think that always has to get pushed forward. And never, Alan always talks about, have you got 20 years experience, or have you got 2 years experience that you've just continued to do for 18 years? Right?
I love that.
It's brilliant. It is, you know, which boils down to on those 19th and 20th years, did you go and ball in your shirt to learn something new? And you learn, you know, has each year been an extra bit to your experience, or have you just had those first 2 years and you just still do that stuff really well now? You know, and I think that's great. And I would put, you know, we're just about entering into our 47th year as a brand, and I would hope that that's the one thing that comes out of all of the, whether it's a podcast, whether it's shows, whether it's just being in the salon, is we give a shit about every part of it, and whether that's from the youngest team member to the longest serving team member, the newest client to the longest serving client, and hopefully that things like this preserve that for the future going forward as well.
And you know, we've got a lot of hungry people in our company that really want to take it to the next level. So, and I genuinely feel like, you know, when you've got all this knowledge and experience and everything, it's my job to pass that information.
Yeah, we're not gatekeepers.
And, you know, and help them to get on that ladder. And I think that's just how our company's always going to grow. You know, because I do spend a lot of time down in London and with colleagues that I work down there. And our name and our brand is on the word of everybody's mouth, you know. So we do really well in these things, but we also need that not just for awards, but for our people.
Of course,
You know, because it gives everybody a opportunity they might not get somewhere else.
It's an investment to them as well, 100%, isn't it? Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, talking of then giving that experience and handing that experience down, was there any surprising pitfalls as a salon owner that you didn't expect? Was there any?
Can I have that pad over?
Right, okay. we may some extra time here.
Oh yeah, of course there is. Like, this is the amazing thing about being a salon owner and about being responsible for people's futures and their jobs, and about being a really trustworthy person, is that's just not how everybody operates in this life. You know, so you do get a wee bit not taking things so personal.
Got you.
You know, because we were in, I mean, I remember one time, many years ago, my team now are solid and they're incredible, best team we've ever had. And not that that's a reflection on anybody that's been
but it's
with us
that
before,
progression of...
But our team right now are they've got a great synergy and everybody's, you know, they're going at it. So, but yeah, I mean, one New Year's Eve, we had a whole team walk out. You know, because somebody was opening another salon, but that happens. And down the line, that'll happen to them. There are ways and means of doing these things, but I suppose when you're young, you just don't think about that. You know, I bet they think about it now, though. Because if it happened to them, they'd be like, oh my God.
Do you know, I've only ever once, I'd been sent a letter by somebody and they'd opened up their own
Yeah,
salon.
me too.
And then they'd been through maybe similar things that they had done to me, and actually genuinely wrote a whole full letter of apology, just going, I did that to you, by the way, and it wasn't cool, and I now know how it feels.
Yeah,
you know?
same
and
here.
just,
We got that letter as
and
well.
I wrote back to them. I just said, hey, I really appreciate
right,
it. No. I wrote back, just going, I really appreciate it, and you know, your job now is, having learnt that, is to try and help eradicate that from the industry moving forward, you know, and the more people that happens to. The good thing is we've got miles more success stories than that. But
and your salon's your baby, isn't it? So you are a wee bit overprotective in the beginning, and I think now I'm more level-headed.
People probably don't. I don't think they get how much you actually care.
Oh.
And that only comes, for me anyway, it only comes from the fact that I walked in as a wee 17-year-old wee guy, and Alan gave me a job, put me in situations and environments that I couldn't possibly believe that I could ever get to do, let me fly, supported me when it was good, heavily supported me
when it was bad,
and gave me all these opportunities.
Yeah.
So even just as a sense of manners, that's my job to do that for the next 17 years. You know, you walk in there as an assistant. You're not walking in there to sweep our floor.
Yeah.
You're there to one day win Scottish Hairdresser of the Year, or you're there to have this column, or you're there to get your own house. And, you know, I always laugh, go, you buy your own car, your own diamond ring, and your own house, and you find your partner however you want to find your partner. You know, and we've got a black and white career structure that allows people to do that and to do that. And I don't believe, and we're in a society where the boss is the bad guy now. I genuinely don't believe that people think that that's how they think we think. And I would really hope that, again, a window into the brand and getting to see all the owners, and it's the same message. There's no script. I've got 2 things written in this bit of paper, by the way. Right? There's 2 things.
That's his list for his dinner.
That's my Kentucky order on the way home. And, you know, and it's came through unscripted from absolutely everybody. And you just, you know, it's the old Jonathan Livingston Seagull book, you know, just trying to give you a set of wings to make you fly.
To make you fly,
and
absolutely.
I think that's great. And I guess as well, when you're at that low, you're sitting there and it's Hug Marie and it's like, oh, Happy New Year. Oh, really? There's only you and your sister to clink the glass. And we have all been there.
We have
all been there.
But I think that's just what makes you, it makes you a bit stronger, you know, and it makes you really, that was when I had a really large team at that time. It really made me and Sam think about, you know, what we really needed and how we were going to get these people, how we were going to train them, and you know, but life throws curveballs all the time. It's not all plain sailing as a business owner. It's a really difficult period in our life right now, with all the charges getting set to us left, right and centre. But we will get through this as well, you know, because we're a resilient bunch of people. Yeah, well, again, that's the thing. If you know, for those listening and watching, we're recording at the kind of start of the spring of 2026, well, end of winter 2026, and the financial landscape of Europe, UK, the world is just as if a cluster bomb's been thrown in the middle of it. Our own government are making choices that either you agree with or you don't agree with, and that's all fine. But it's never been so challenging. Yeah. And again, the great thing is, you know, you go back to episode 1 and you watch Alan and you go through how many recessions, financial crashes, how many interest rises, how many near bankruptcies, how about this, that, the next thing. Would never put him off, did it? No, right. And that's the one stable thing that I'm always talking to my team whenever they're worrying about these things, going, I'm still going to be here. Mm-hmm. I'll be here because I'll be working 7 days a week, and I've done it, and I'll work all night, and that door will be opened, and either you're with me or you're not with me. So don't be scared. That name's going nowhere. Yeah. You know, that way, there's absolutely, you know, Alan and my first ever assistant show
17, Alan stood on stage and said he wanted the company to be 100 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's...
I believe that.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
And he does, you know, and that's not even... I'll not even get to see it being 100, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the next, you know, the crowd to take that through. But it definitely wants that to be there. And I think in this sort of challenging period that we're in, that's what we cling. You know, we're 3 years away from it being 50 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just... There
I
ain't that many standalone brands that have got to that length of time. And that's a massive, massive success. Anyway, talking of massive successes, you'd have thought, for not having a script, you'd think I'd know what I was talking about. You know, we can't not talk about Hall of Fame and Scottish Hairdresser of the Year, and obviously the technician. The technician is a really crappy title for the Colour Award, isn't it? I think, you know we're getting that thing just now where it's what's your hints and things about how the awards could move forward. Like, come on, what a sexier name for the Colour Award. It's such a sexy category. It's like one of the sexiest categories there, you know, in the colour. It's like, then you go, colour technician.
Schwarzkopf British Colour Technician.
Yeah.
I suppose it is. It's, you know, that's a really tough one. That was amazing to get that.
Yeah.
So my achievements were 2011, 2016, 2017, and then Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And that didn't come straight
No.
away, because
Let
you know
me
people see the Hall of Fame thing and they go great,
Yeah.
but the sheer amount of work and
I was nominated 14 times over that period.
Yeah.
So 10 of that I learned how to deal with failure.
your Oscar face has been one of the best practice. Being like, oh, congratulations. Pass the wine. Because it is hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard.
Once you're in the room, you'll tell yourself forever that, I just want to create this lovely body of work.
It's just lovely
and
to
it's,
be in.
And it's nice to get the recognition. You get in that room and you're sitting there and there's 2,000 people all sitting there going, right, no, wait a minute, I'd really quite like that. I like that now.
100%.
You know, and I'm 3 seats behind you when this is all going on, wanting you to get it. And that's how I'm feeling. I've no idea how, what you're going through to get it as well. But I think it's important that it's not just, I just created a bunch of pictures and I'll win this thing. It was a journey to get there.
Massive journey. I mean, the one thing about us is that we do our collections every year because we use them for not only the awards, but, you know, for all the PR and the press and everything that we need it for, all the red stamp stuff. But yeah, of course, when we go into a competition, my God, I want to win it. I'm not in there for a laugh, you know.
It's like...
And so, that's just our massive wins within the British hairdressing.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of other things that over the last couple of years, like Global Colourist, British Colourist, like, and all the different awards that we do, and the Vanguard Award, like, lots and lots and lots that are just as good. They're all just...
Oh, no, it's amazing.
As good. So, but when I get something like that, it's not just me. You know, I'm a team player, Ricardo, and I've got a massive team behind me that are so supportive. And you know, my right-hand woman here, Diana Carson, and she is well on her way to showing the world what she can do, because she is an absolute superstar, that girl.
Definitely.
And her vision and her technical ability of where she wants to be is something that I've not really experienced before.
Yeah, it's limitless, really.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing, and she is, you know, one to watch, I would say.
Do you not think as well that she's one of these people that she's 2 years down the line, and then you see the thing follow through. I mean, you know, I'm into motorbikes, and there's a designer called Pierre Blanchi, and everybody hated these bikes when they came out, and they're now all 20 years old, and everybody looks back at these bikes and go, oh my God, they're all amazing. And you could basically put them out now, and they would still be as current now. And there's design features within them that are current now, and I constantly see that in Diana's work
Yeah.
all the time.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
And that's the key of doing
Yeah.
really good creative work,
Yeah.
is to make it look
But it's
timeless.
hard because it's not people pleasing.
It's not people
It's
pleasing.
not people
but we're not
pleasing,
here to
and
please people.
you know, and it takes a special hairdresser not to have that ego.
Uh-huh.
You know, because at the end of the day, your job is to get that
Yeah.
smile off of that client, and whether that's getting the gong or the pat in the back or the front cover or whatever is the sort of end goal for that to make you feel, oh, I've done something. When you're maybe a bit of a trailblazer, you're not the person that initially gets it.
100%. I mean, we have been told this over the years so many times.
Yeah.
But that's what we do.
No, you can't not.
And you cannot, and especially Diana would never do that. She's got a clear vision of what she likes.
Yeah.
It's not, shrouded at all, and
No.
she wouldn't be led by it. It's her.
No.
It's her vision.
Good luck with that. Good luck. I think you should. Oh, do you? No, and you wouldn't want to
Why
change.
would you want to do that?
No.
And I think, everybody coming up, like Rachel, Archie, these kids have got vision as well. They're not kids, but everybody's a kid to me. But they've got their vision as well, and that should never be cramped.
Well, I just saw 2 photographs of the wee 2 cheeky monkeys who'd sneaked away in the summer and done a wee photo collection for themselves, and they're unbelievable. She went, I was thinking about it, and I'm looking at it going, the 2 years went, we just felt we wanted to do this.
That's
It looks,
amazing.
no, it is. It's an absolute. That's a delight. And again, for ourselves, knowing that next gen's there, and we've got that again, and that's that's decade.
And
that's
they'll
15
inspire,
years. Exactly.
and then the story goes on and it goes on and it goes on.
Because you're already seeing the ones watching them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're of an age where they think that, so you would have always had the crew that would think it was impossible to be you. You've now definitely got ones thinking it's impossible to be Diana. Because the other thing with Diana is, well, her numbers are still off the chart.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, her client numbers, her column as a salon hairdresser is still
waiting list.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. But then there's this just endless creative amount of work getting done. So she's balancing both of those. She's either balancing them or she's just going charge.
Yeah, she's just charging.
She's just charging. Just
Everywhere.
follow me, and here we go. And it's a beautiful thing to behold. That is for sure. So, where in your journey just now, and talking about the challenges of the salon and the environment and the world that we're in, where do you see salon life going? Where do you see yourself, sort of salon life?
I'm just going to do exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep working and hopefully inspiring my team.
Yeah.
Working alongside my sister, the brainchild, who has, just develops these great ideas and we work with it. And I'm going to continue my journey with Schwarzkopf and my journey with the artistic team.
Yeah.
So, eventually I will pull back a bit. I do have 3 grandchildren who I miss dearly, that are down south. But
for those of you watching and listening, we've had this conversation in hotels after events, or about a million times of us slowing down and not maybe doing just quite so much. And I've not seen any evidence of any of this whatsoever, even with a broken foot. So that way, she's still talking about Diana charging. You're definitely one as well. But obviously, that's there and that's in the picture.
Yeah.
But obviously, your passion and your desire are still at a level that you can't not.
I cannot imagine not doing what I do. And see, as soon as I stop having fun doing it, that's when I'll pull back.
Right.
Yeah, so when this isn't like the funnest job for me, and the funnest thing to work with my team and to help them in any way, form or whatever it is that they need to get to where they want to be, when I'm not enjoying that, I'll pull back. But I'm really enjoying it still, so I'm not.
And is that not what a testament to a craft? If you're sitting here as a girl that had, if I turn left, I can go into that college. If I turn right, I can go into that salon.
Right.
And you're still loving the thing as much now, if not
41
more,
years later.
than you did. Well, I was letting you away with that.
Ah.
You stepped on that banana peel, not me. But you know, the idea that you could hand on heart, you can still, because it's that way where I even laugh between motorbike crashes and strokes. I'm going, what if I couldn't cut hair? Do you know what I mean? You're like, that's your moment when you're sitting going, what if I can't cut? It's not about the salon will look after itself for all intents and purposes
100%.
and all that kind of stuff. But what if I physically
Can't
pick up a pair of scissors and a comb?
I can't even think about that.
You wouldn't, you know, it's like I cut hair, therefore I am kind of thing, you know, that way. So I totally get it. Don't quite get it from an energy level, because I ain't got it. You know, that way. I get it, and it still amazes me, but equally inspires me. And I'm in the lucky position to get to dip my toe in when I've got the energy, and then dip back out when I'm not. And that is a genuine thank you from me, because it's allowed me to be more current in my last 10 years than I probably was in the 10 years before that, because I just in my head was in the business and I was just doing that, and I hadn't put myself in any scary situations for ages. And I get to do the comparing thing, and I get to watch that, and that's all fine. But you know, you have been pivotal in going, you want to pick up a pair of scissors and do it, and try and talk and cut at the same time. So you know, I genuinely thank you for that, myself, you know, and directors like myself and David and John and Coco and Yaz, for all that we're at that end of our career. We've all been able to just dip in every time when we've got that wee window of space and be able to take part.
But I think it's really important for our teams to see what yous guys done.
Of course,
and what yous can do as well, you know, so...
You've got to walk the talk.
You've got to walk the talk.
And you might not be able to do a marathon, but you might be able to do the odd wee sprint now and then. So that, not that I'm saying I'm Usain Bolt in any way, shape or form, that is for sure. So artistically and from a creative perspective, what's your outlook? Not that, you know, where do you see hair going? I'm not going to ask you that question, because none of us have a clue. But we're obviously entering into a world of AI, and you know, I've had my first client come in with a consultation on ChatGPT. Right, amazing, right? Like photograph, and actually I thought I would hate it, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
The best laugh was all of the colour techniques that it told her to get were about 720 quid. And I'm like, well, thanks ChatGPT, but I can do it for about 280. And she's like, well, let's do it that way. So it wasn't dehumanising it.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really interesting was it was actually making the client go, oh, I can have all of this thing, and then it's me going, well, this is the best things out of all of that. Do you see it kind of merging together?
I mean, I think it's going to be a massive part of what we do, and I totally embrace it, because it can't really do anything without the input of information. Yeah. So, you know, we've got Maya now within the Schwarzkopf group. But you know, Maya could make mistakes if she didn't have the right information. Yeah. So you always have to make sure you have the right information. Who's put that in the first place? Yeah. So, and I'm sure she'll come up with all the best recipes and formulas. Yeah. But you know, and in the world of hairdressing, I appreciate the videos when you see all the.
Oh, you just getting to the end?
Oh, he's back.
So I'll set one for the last end. So you see it being a positive?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're not getting away from it, right?
No, it's not going anywhere,
AI
is it? No.
It's moving faster than the speed of light now. So I do think it's something that we can embrace. But we are crafted, skilled people. So this is only stuff that's on screens. Of course. We're dealing, you know, eye hand to hand with clients. So, but I think imagery and photo shoots and stuff, it should probably be embraced as well. Yeah. It is quite interesting, because I do judge like the Australian Hairdressing Awards, and they actually have a category for AI.
Well, I think that's it. I think if you've got an all-out, right, just no holds barred, go for it, see what you can do. I think that's definitely, I think it'll be huge from a consultation perspective. Yeah. I think it's going to be great for that, because if that's helping clients understand. The other great thing as well is if you've already gave a client information and they're checking that online and you're telling them the right thing, then that's brilliant. It's a validation
Just make
tool.
sure you're telling them the
You've got
right
to tell them the right thing. You've got to, which obviously we do.
Obviously.
But the validation of that is great, which I already find with likes of the Schwarzkopf lab.
Yeah.
You know, when they're getting the score and they're coming in and their score's actually really high, and then it tells them to use all the stuff that you've already told them to use.
Yeah.
That only just is reaffirming that you know what you're talking about, and I don't think that has to be shied away from or be seen as scared or be seen as a challenge, because ultimately the physicality of the job will not go away for a long time yet. I would never say never. I've got a draconian, scary way of cutting hair with lasers, but I'm not telling anybody in case they actually invent it. I'm keeping that a secret just in case somebody goes, actually, let's do it that way. But I think the great thing is, and that's before you get onto the healing properties and hands-on skin and all of that kind of stuff. There's a psychological aspect of it, and who wants a robot going, are you going on any holidays? It's not gonna, none of that's going to work, I don't think. But yeah, I think that's really interesting, the idea that instead of shying away from it from an artistic perspective.
And I do think, moving forward, you'll probably find in different awards and criterias and stuff that there will be, you have to declare it.
Yeah.
So I think already, the hair awards and Creative Head and the British Hairdresser, they're all over it.
Yeah.
They're all over it.
And there must be even in written stuff as well. They can scan it. They can scan it and they can tell whether it's been done.
It is good for a wee biog, is it not?
Well, it's great for us, for the old grammar and all the dyslexic ADHD hairdressers that we all are. 100%. All of a sudden, my spelling is perfect.
Yeah. And my grammar's
I know I'm getting all my commas in the right place all of a sudden.
Excuse me,
but
sorry.
It's so no, I think that's really interesting. For all that there's it's dead hard to get staff. It's dead hard to get trainees. It's dead hard to get all these challenges are there. Hand on heart, if I'm sitting thinking, was it any easier 20 years ago? I actually don't think it was. I think we keep trying to make it now that it's harder than it ever is.
Yeah.
And I do think that 16-year-old girl could be standing across the road from your shop right now, either thinking about getting onto the bus or going to the train and going to college, or looking in those big, shiny, ginormous, floor-to-ceiling windows and go, no, I want to work there and walk into you guys. And I think that girl or that guy's out there still.
100%. There's still so many people that, hairdressing has changed dramatically in the last probably 10 years, with people coming out of salons and working freelance in different places. But as we said yesterday, I feel a movement, they're coming back into the salon, because the salon is a secure place.
Yeah.
It's a secure place. It's a place where you get holidays. There's front of house. There's assistants. There's products. There's endless opportunities.
Just being with somebody else
and working with people.
Because
being
all
that 16-year-old kid, I'd do it again and again and again.
Definitely, and obviously everything that we've been talking about is because there was somebody beside us, or we were a team, or we were none of us have ever talked about, oh, by the way, we did this by ourselves and we were always by ourselves. And I must admit, of all of the things that came out of either post-COVID or rent a chair or working from home or whatever, whether it's hairdressing or any job, you talk to clients and their kids are going down to London to start a new career in finance, but they're in the flat and they're in a computer and they're not going, you go, that must be just soulless, as opposed to you jumping off a train with your suitcase and going straight into a nightclub. It's the most Suzie thing that's came out of the entire 2 hours, by the way. It's like the most important thing then was...
remember to take it home.
You did remember to take it home. That was the next thing, going like that, phoning back in the morning going, hi there. Is there a pair of sunglasses, a purse and a suitcase there by any chance? So, yeah, I think what an amazing place to end actually is just that imagery of that youngster standing across the road. And if anything has come out of the 2 hours talking to you, and the first part and the second part is walk across the road, go in that door, and ask for that opportunity.
100%. Nothing is ever unattainable.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, it's been a pleasure.
Always.
I know we've done this a million times with a lot more alcohol and darker, dingier places. So it's nice for the world to get to see it. But
thanks,
it's for anybody watching or listening, it's going to be an absolutely inspiring story. And one to come back to, I think, because you're going to get more. It's not going to be the last time you're going to be in that chair.
Okay.
For other
Hopefully
reasons.
Hopefully I don't have this sticky on.
You won't be like, you'll be able to put your feet up the table and everything. But for now, Suzie, thanks very much. It was amazing.
Thank you so much, Ricardo. Thanks.